We begin in the stillness of a room that knows no time. You are seated, your spine a column of resolute peace. The air around you is thick with the scent of old parchment and the cooling evening. Nature compels us to move, to drift like autumn leaves. But here, in this sanctuary of your own creation, you choose to stop the drifting. You are not a sound-producing, perambulating plant. You are a center of conscious evolution. This development occurs only when the quality of individual thought is refined, like gold from the dross. We are looking for the truth, not as a distant star, but as the ground beneath our feet. Every institution, every city, every bridge began as a single pulse of thought in a mind much like your own. Feel the constructive power of your own spirit beginning to stir in the silence. You are the architect of the invisible, drawing from the cosmic intelligence that fills the spaces between your breaths. Some look at the successful and see only the fruit, never the roots. They believe success is a physical struggle, a war of muscles and sweat. But the cause cannot be physical. If it were, the most physically perfect would always sit upon the highest thrones. The difference is mental. It is the mind that overcomes the environment and every obstacle in the path of the determined. When the creative power of thought is understood, its effects are seen as the only reality. You must realize that your current weakness is only a dependency on help from the outside. Throw yourself upon your own thought. Right yourself. Stand erect. Assume the dominant attitude of one who knows the law. The mental world is as fixed and infallible as the movement of the planets. Abundance is not a favor granted by a capricious deity. It is a recognition of the laws of supply. 50 years ago, electricity existed, but it remained dark and cold because no one recognized the law of its service. Now, the world is lit because the law is understood. So it is with the mind. Poverty is not a virtue to be endured or romanticized. It is a structural impediment to the soul that must be dismantled through precise scientific action. We must place ourselves in harmony with the law of abundance. Every result has an adequate and definite cause. If you desire a different result, you must look to the cause within your own method of thinking. The scientific spirit now dominates every field of effort, and your mind is no exception. Think of the world within. It is a world of thought and feeling and power. Though it is invisible, its forces are mighty. This world is governed by you. When you discover this internal kingdom, you find the solution for every problem. You find the cause for every effect. The world without is merely a reflection of this internal state. What appears without is what has been found within. Infinite wisdom and infinite supply wait for your recognition. If you recognize these potentialities, they will take form in the material world. Harmony in the world within is reflected by harmonious conditions and agreeable surroundings. It is the foundation of health and the essential of all greatness. You have the ability to control your thoughts and determine how any experience is to affect you. Life is an unfoldment, not an accretion. You do not gain power by gathering things from the outside. You express power by releasing what is already within. All possession is based on consciousness. All gain is the result of an accumulative consciousness, and all loss is the result of a scattering consciousness. Mental efficiency is contingent upon harmony. Discord means confusion. He who would acquire power must be in harmony with natural law. We are related to the outer world by the objective mind. The brain is the organ of this mind. It connects us to the senses of light, heat, odor, and sound. When this mind thinks correctly, the sensations sent to the body are pleasant and harmonious. We build strength and vitality by choosing our mental food with the same care we use for our physical sustenance. Deep within you lies the subconscious mind. Its organ is the solar plexus, the sun center of your being. While the conscious mind deals with the outward objects, the subconscious controls the regular functions that make life possible. It never sleeps. It never rests. It is the channel through which you are connected to the universal mind. The coordination of these two centers is the great goal of life. With this knowledge, you bring the finite and the infinite into cooperation. Your future is entirely within your own control. It is not at the mercy of any capricious external power. There is but one consciousness in the universe able to think. When it thinks, its thoughts become objective things. Your consciousness is identical with this universal consciousness. All mind is one mind. There is no dodging this conclusion. The ability of the individual to think is his ability to act on the universal. Mind is static energy. Thought is dynamic energy. They are two phases of the same thing. Thought is the vibratory force formed by converting static mind into motion. Because all attributes are contained in the universal mind, they are present in you at all times. When you think, your thought is compelled by its nature to embody itself in a condition that corresponds with its origin. Every thought is a cause. Every condition is an effect. It is absolutely essential that you control your thoughts so as to bring forth only desirable conditions. All power is from within and is absolutely under your control. It comes through exact knowledge and the voluntary exercise of exact principles. You must become a conscious cooperator with the law. Most of humanity lives in the world without. Only a few have found the world within. Yet it is the world within that creates the world without. Everything you find in your outer life was first created by you in the inner world. To change the effect, you must change the cause. This is a radically different idea for most. They try to change effects by working with effects. This is simply changing one form of distress for another. To remove discord, you must remove the cause. And the cause can only be found in the world within. All growth is from within. Every plant and animal is a living testimony to this law. The error of the ages is looking for strength from the outside. The world within is the universal fountain of supply. The world without is the outlet to the stream. Now we make the application. Select a room where you can be alone and undisturbed. Sit erect. Do not lounge. Let your thoughts roam where they will, but remain perfectly still. Do this for 15 minutes. Continue this for several days until you secure full control of your physical being. Many will find this extremely difficult, as the body demands movement. But you must master the body before you can progress. This stillness is the first step. It is the silencing of the physical noise so the mental work can begin. Feel the weight of your hands on your lap. Feel the air on your skin. Be the master of the temple. You are the I that commands the flesh. In this silence, you are preparing the soil for the seeds of greatness. The operations of the mind are produced by two modes of activity, the conscious and the subconscious. To think we can illuminate the whole range of mental action by the light of consciousness alone is like trying to light the universe with a small candle. The subconscious works with a certainty and regularity that knows no error. It is the theater of the most important mental phenomena. It is through the subconscious that the artist perceives truths hidden from the student. Ease and perfection depend entirely upon the degree in which we cease to depend on the conscious mind. Think of the pianist. The brilliant execution comes from the subconscious. If the pianist had to consciously think of every note, the music would stumble and die. Your subconscious is a benevolent stranger that works for your benefit, pouring mature fruit into your lap while you sleep. The value of the subconscious is enormous. It inspires us. It warns us. It furnishes us with names and scenes from the storehouse of memory. It accomplishes tasks so intricate that no conscious mind has the capacity for them. You can walk at will, but you cannot consciously stop your heart from beating. You cannot consciously build your own bone tissue or circulate your blood. These all-important functions are withdrawn from your outward will. They are placed under the direction of a permanent and dependable power within. This is the subjective mind. It is the seat of the will and the energies that flow from it. It is the responsible ruler of your physical existence. To understand its function is to hold the key to health and vitality. It is the engine that drives the vessel through the storm. The conscious mind is the watchman at the gate. Its primary duty is to protect the subconscious from false impressions. The subconscious does not argue. It does not prove. It accepts whatever the conscious mind suggests as true. If you feed it suggestions of fear, worry, or poverty, it will faithfully bring these conditions into your life. The trained mind is a vigilant guard. It stands at the portal of your soul and refuses entry to any thought that does not serve your purpose. Most people leave the gate unguarded. They allow the impulses of the mob and the suggestions of the fearful to flood their mental world. But you are different. You are learning to keep the watchman on duty during every waking hour. You are the master of what enters your workshop. The subconscious mind perceives by intuition. Its processes are rapid. It does not wait for the slow methods of reasoning. By plainly stating to the subconscious certain specific things to be accomplished, you set forces in motion that lead to the result. This is a source of power that places you in touch with the infinite. Those who learn to trust this power find that something has been there before them to dissolve differences. They find that business problems suggest their own solutions. Everything is properly arranged. The subconscious is the seat of our principles and our aspirations. It is the fount of our artistic and altruistic ideals. It cannot be overthrown by argument, only by the gradual process of undermining innate principles with new, healthy habits of thought. You are carving new grooves in the substance of your mind. Last week, you mastered the stillness of the body. Now, we move to the control of thought. Take your same position. Be perfectly still. Now, inhibit all thought. This will give you control over thoughts of care, worry, and fear. It will enable you to entertain only the thoughts you desire. You will not be able to do this for more than a few moments at first, but the exercise is valuable. It is a practical demonstration of the great number of thoughts that are constantly trying to gain access to your world. They are like birds trying to land on a branch. Watch them come, but do not let them land. Feel the power of the vacuum you are creating. In this void, the true self begins to speak. The mind is the master weaver of your character and your circumstance. There is a necessary interaction between the conscious and subconscious minds. This requires an interaction between the nervous systems. The cerebrospinal system is the organ of the conscious. The sympathetic system is the organ of the subconscious. The connection is made by the vagus nerve. It passes from the cerebral region to the thorax, touching the heart and lungs, finally becoming identified with the sympathetic system. This makes man physically a single entity. Every thought is received by the brain and subjected to reasoning. When the objective mind is satisfied that the thought is true, it is sent to the solar plexus to be made into your flesh. It is brought forth into the world as reality. It is no longer susceptible to argument. It has become a part of you. You are literally thinking yourself into being. The solar plexus has been likened to the sun of the body. It is a central point of distribution for the energy the body is constantly generating. This energy is very real. It is distributed by real nerves to all parts of the body. It is thrown off in an atmosphere that envelopes you. If this radiation is strong, you are called magnetic. You are filled with personal power. Such a person can bring comfort to troubled minds just by their presence. When the solar plexus is active, it radiates life and vitality. You feel health. You feel strength. If there is an interruption in this radiation, the sensations are unpleasant. This is the cause of every ill, physical, mental, and environmental. The sun of your body is no longer vitalizing the whole. The solar plexus is where the part meets the whole. It is where the finite becomes infinite. It is the point at which life appears. There is no limit to the amount of life an individual may generate from this center. This center is omnipotent because it is the point of contact with all life. The subconscious will carry out whatever plan is suggested by the conscious mind. Therefore, conscious thought is the master of this sun center. The quality of the thought you entertain determines the quality of the radiation. If you think of courage and hope, you expand the solar plexus. If you think of fear, you contract it. Fear is the one arch enemy. It must be destroyed. It must be expelled forever. It is the cloud that hides the sun and causes perpetual gloom. The world is harsh only as we fail to assert ourselves. The criticism of the world is bitter only to those who cannot compel room for their ideas. Many ideas fail to see the light of day because of the fear of criticism. But the man who knows he has a solar plexus will not fear. He will be too busy radiating courage and power. He will anticipate success by his mental attitude. He will pound barriers to pieces and leap over the chasms of doubt. Knowledge of your ability to radiate health and harmony brings you into a realization that there is nothing to fear. You are in touch with infinite strength. This knowledge is gained only by making practical application. We learn by doing. Through practice, the athlete becomes powerful. Through practice, your mind becomes an unstoppable force. For your exercise this week, I ask you to go one step further. Not only be perfectly still and inhibit thought, but relax. Let go. Let the muscles take their normal condition. This will remove all pressure from the nerves and eliminate the tension that produces exhaustion. Physical relaxation is a voluntary exercise of the will. It enables the blood to circulate freely to the brain and body. Tension leads to mental unrest. It produces worry and anxiety. Relaxation is an absolute necessity for the mental faculties to exercise their greatest freedom. Mentally determine that you will relax every muscle and nerve. Feel the quietness. Feel the peace with yourself and the world. The solar plexus is now ready to function. You will be surprised at the result. Thought is energy, and energy is power. Most religions and sciences have been based on the manifestation of this energy, instead of the energy itself. The world has been limited to effects, while causes have been ignored. This is why we have concepts of good and bad, positive and negative. But the master key reverses this process. It is interested only in cause. Life is expressive. It is our business to express ourselves harmoniously and constructively. Sorrow, misery, and poverty are not necessities. We are constantly eliminating them by rising above limitation. He who has strengthened his thought need not concern himself with microbes. He who understands the law of abundance goes at once to the source of supply. Fate and destiny are controlled as readily as a captain controls his ship. The I of you is not your physical body. The body is simply an instrument the I uses to carry out its purposes. The I cannot be the mind, for the mind is simply another instrument used to reason and plan. The I must be something that controls both body and mind. When you realize the true nature of this I, you will enjoy a sense of power never known before. Your personality is made of habits and traits, the results of former thinking, but they have nothing to do with the real I. When you say, I think, the I tells the mind what to think. When you say, I go, the I tells the body where to go. This I is spiritual. It is the source of real power. Few people know how to think constructively. Most allow thoughts to dwell on selfish purposes, which is the result of an infantile mind. The mature mind understands that the germ of defeat is in every selfish thought. Every transaction must benefit every person connected to it. Any attempt to profit by the weakness of another will inevitably operate to your disadvantage. This is because the individual is part of the universal. A part cannot antagonize another part without affecting the whole. Those who recognize this principle have a great advantage. They do not wear themselves out. They can eliminate vagrant thoughts with facility. They do not waste time or money on objects of no benefit. If you cannot do these things, it is because you have not made the effort. Now is the time. Use the affirmation, I can be what I will to be. Repeat it until it becomes part of you. Form the habit. If you start something, see it through, even if the heavens fall. It is easier to control a kingdom than to control yourself. But when you learn to control yourself, you have found the world within that controls the world without. You become irresistible. Men and things respond to your every wish without apparent effort. This is because your I is one with the infinite energy, often called God. This is not mere theory. It is a fact accepted by the best religious and scientific thought. God dwells in man rather than operating on him from without. You are the temple of the living power. To overcome does not mean to go without. Self-denial is not success. We cannot give unless we get. We cannot be helpful unless we are strong. The infinite is not a bankrupt, and you are its representative. You must have power to be of service. The more we give, the more we shall get. We must become a channel for the universal to express activity. The universal seeks the channel where it can do the most good. It cannot express through you if you are busy only with your own plans. Quiet the senses. Seek inspiration. Focus the mental activity on the within. Still water runs deep. Contemplate the multitudinous opportunities you have access to. Visualize the circumstances you wish to manifest. Realize that the essence of all things is spiritual. The spiritual is the real, for it is the life of all there is. When the spirit is gone, the life is gone. You are a creator. The higher the ideals you conceive, the more important your work becomes. Overactivity of the body produces mental apathy. Seek the silence frequently. Power comes through repose. Thought is a mode of motion. It is carried by the law of vibration, the same as light or electricity. It is given vitality by the emotions through the law of love. It takes form by the law of growth. It is a product of the spiritual I. To express power and abundance, the emotions must give feeling to the thought. How do we develop this faith and courage? By exercise. Mental strength is secured just like physical strength. We think something with difficulty the first time. We think it again, and it becomes easier. Finally, it becomes a habit. It becomes automatic. You are now positive of what you think. There is no longer any doubt. You are ready for mental freedom. Let go of all adverse conditions, hatred, anger, and disappointment. Destroy these negative seeds before they germinate. Every conceivable force or fact is the result of mind in action. Mind in action is thought, and thought is creative. Matter is powerless and inert. Mind is force and power. It shapes and controls matter. Every form matter takes is the expression of some pre-existing thought. Thought works no magic transformations. It obeys natural laws. It releases natural energies. It manifests in your conduct and actions. At least 90% of your mental life is subconscious. Those who fail to use this power live within very narrow limits. The subconscious can solve any problem if you know how to direct it. Are you a passive recipient of this activity, or are you consciously directing it? Shall you have a vision of the destination, or shall you simply drift? Use your authority to repress undesirable traits. Your mind is the result of heredity and environment. Countless thousands of impressions and prejudices have been accepted with little examination. These ideas were built into your body. The Word has become flesh. You are creating and recreating yourself every day. You are the result of your past thinking. You will be what you think today. The law of attraction brings you your own. It brings the things you have created by your thought processes. If you were building a home, you would study every detail. You would select only the best material. Yet how careless many are with their mental home. Everything that enters your life depends on the material you use for your mental construction. If your impressions are of fear and worry, the texture of your life will be rotten and mildewed. You will be forever busy trying to patch it up. But if you store away only courageous thoughts, the result is different. If you are optimistic and positive, your mental material is of the best kind. The texture is firm. The material is solid. It will not fade. You have no fear for the future. These are psychological facts. There is no guesswork here. Have a mental house cleaning every day. Cleanliness is indispensable for progress. There is a fine estate awaiting you. It has broad acres and abundant crops. It has a spacious mansion and every luxury. You are the heir. You must assert your heirship. You must take possession and use the property. To neglect it is to lose it. Power over circumstances is one of its fruits. Poise and peace are its assets. Heredity is a law attending progressive creation. It gave you your erect attitude and your power of motion. But there is a divine heredity that lies beneath. It is the force that decrees primal creation. It originates life. No human heredity can measure up to it. This infinite life flows through you. It is you. Its doorways are the faculties of your consciousness. To keep these doors open is the secret of power. Build firm foundations upon the forces that flow from the infinite source. You are the image and likeness of the universal mind. Once you possess this inheritance, you are never the same. You discover a latent ability you never knew existed. You are a channel for the power to take form. Unless you give, the channel is obstructed. The more you give, the more you get. Now, return to your room. Take the same seat. Mentally select a place with pleasant associations. Make a complete mental picture of it. See the buildings. See the trees. See your friends. See everything complete. At first, your mind will wander to everything under the sun. Do not let this discourage you. Persistence will win. You must practice this every day without fail. This is the soil preparation. Next, we shall sow the seed. This exercise allows you to control your mental moods and your attitude. Great thinkers withdraw from the multitude to generate the right mental moods. They know that a single idea can be worth millions. Such ideas come only to the receptive. Be prepared to receive. The universal mind is all substance and all intelligence. How is it differentiated into form? Electricity is a form of motion, and its effect depends on the mechanism it is attached to. It can produce heat, light, or power. So it is with thought. Thought is mind in motion. Its effect depends on the mechanism it is attached to. That mechanism is the human brain. Most remain in ignorance of this greatest piece of machinery, but you are examining its wonders. The brain is an embryonic world ready to develop. There is not a single virtue it cannot express. The nervous system is an electric circuit. The blood supply is the energy renewal. The skin is the mantle of beauty. You are given control of this temple. Every thought sets the brain cells in action. If the thought is refined and concentrated, the substance finally yields. It expresses perfectly. This influence can be exerted on any part of the body. It can eliminate any undesirable effect. The man who looks within makes use of the mighty forces that determine his course. Attention is the most important essential in mind culture. The possibilities of attention are startling. It is the distinguishing mark of every successful person. It is the highest personal accomplishment. Compare it to a magnifying glass. The rays of sunlight have no strength when moved about, but focus them on one spot and the effect is immediate. So it is with thought. If you dissipate your power by scattering thoughts, no result is apparent. Focus on a single purpose, and nothing is impossible. Try this. Choose any single object. Concentrate on it for 10 minutes. You will find the mind wanders a dozen times. Each time, the effect is lost. You must bring it back. Through attention, you will finally overcome every obstacle. Practice makes perfect. To cultivate this, take a photograph. Examine it closely. Note the eyes, the hair, the clothing. Note every detail. Now close your eyes and try to see it mentally. If you can form a good mental image, you are progressing. If not, repeat the process. We are preparing the soil. Circumstances and environment follow the trend of spiritual progress. Growth follows knowledge. Action follows inspiration. Always the spiritual first, then the transformation. Man has believed in an invisible power through all ages. You may call it God or the essence. The effect is the same. The objective is the personal, what we see and feel. The subjective is the spiritual and impersonal. The personal has the power of choice. The impersonal is part of the source. It has infinite resources. It can bring about results by methods the human mind cannot conceive. It is your privilege to utilize these potentialities. Visualization is the process of making mental images. The image is the model from which your future will emerge. Make the pattern clear and beautiful. Do not be afraid. Make it grand. You are not limited by cost or material. Draw on the infinite. It must be in the imagination before it can appear anywhere else. Reading about visualization will not bring results. Labor is necessary. Hard mental labor. This is the effort few are willing to put forth. The first step is idealization. It is the plan on which you build. It must be solid and permanent. An architect has every line of a 30-story building pictured in advance. An engineer knows the requirements of 1,000,000 parts before spanning a chasm. They see the end before the first step is taken. You must picture what you want. You are sowing the seed. If the picture is dim, return to the chair daily until it is plain. It will gradually take shape. Then the details will unfold. You will develop the power to materialize these plans. You will come to know what the future holds for you. Visualization leads to action. Action develops methods. Methods develop friends. Friends bring about circumstances. Finally, materialization is accomplished. The universe was thought into shape before it was a material fact. We operate the same mind as the great architect. The difference is only in degree. Nikola Tesla visualized his inventions before working them out. He did not rush to build and correct defects. He held the image in his imagination to be improved by thought. He perfected the conception without touching anything. His devices worked exactly as he conceived. If you follow this, you develop faith, not a shadow, but a substance. You develop the confidence that leads to endurance. You exclude all thoughts not associated with your purpose. Thought manifests in form. Only the divine thinker of his own thoughts can speak with authority. Clarity is obtained by repeatedly having the image in mind. Each repetition renders it more accurate. You must build securely in the world within before it can take form without. You cannot make broadcloth from shoddy material. Millions of silent mental workers, your brain cells, are fashioning the image. You have over 5 million of these workers in active use. Another reserve force is ready to be called at any need. Your power to create environment is practically unlimited. Every cell in your body is endowed with intelligence to act upon your suggestions. They attract the substance necessary for perfect development. This is the law of attraction. It is the most certain way to secure what you require. Make the mental image clear, distinct, perfect. Hold it firmly. Supply will follow demand. You will be led to do the right thing at the right time. Earnest desire is the feeling. Confident expectation is the thought. Firm demand is the will. These three cannot fail to bring attainment. It is strange we were always taught to look for strength without. We were told it was supernatural, but it is within. Many fail because they deal with externals. They want money and health, but they fail to find the cause. Wisdom unfolds and discloses the source of power. Give no thought to external conditions. Make the world within beautiful and opulent. The world without will express the condition you have within. If a man is in debt, he often thinks only of the debt. He concentrates on it. Because thoughts are causes, he fastens the debt closer to him. He creates more debt. This is the law of attraction in reverse. Loss leads to greater loss. What is the correct principle? Concentrate on what you want, not what you do not want. Think of abundance. Idealize the methods for the law of abundance. Visualize the condition the law creates. We are often too anxious. We are like a child who plants a seed and stirs the earth every 15 minutes to see if it is growing. The seed will never germinate that way. Plant the seed and leave it undisturbed. This does not mean doing nothing. You will do more and better work than ever. New doors will open. Be ready to act. Thought is the fire that creates the steam that turns the wheel of fortune. Do you follow the majority? Remember, majorities are always led. They never lead. The majority fought against the steam engine and the power loom. For your exercise, visualize a friend. See them as you last saw them. See the room and the furniture. Recall the conversation. See their face distinctly. Talk to them about a subject of mutual interest. Watch their expression change. Watch them smile. Tell them a story and see their eyes light up. If you can do this, your imagination is good. You are making excellent progress. You are learning to see below the surface. You understand the causes by which effects are brought into existence. Visualize a battleship, a grim monster on the water. It seems silent and lifeless, but you know the largest part is under the water. You know hundreds of men are ready. You know its vision extends for miles. It is prepared to hurl steel many miles away. How did it come to be? Follow the steel plates to the foundries. Follow the ore to the mines. See the architect who planned it. The vessel is now only a thought in the brain of the architect. Where did the order come from? Perhaps from the Secretary of Defense. But Congress had to pass the bill. The congressmen represent you and me. Our line of thought begins with the ship and ends with ourselves. Our own thought is responsible for this. If someone had not discovered the law by which steel floats, the battleship could not exist. This is the law of specific gravity. Its discovery revolutionized ocean travel. When thought is trained to look below the surface, everything changes. The insignificant becomes significant. Look well to this day. It is the life of life. Yesterday is but a dream. Tomorrow is only a vision. But today well lived makes every yesterday a dream of happiness. Every tomorrow a vision of hope. You may freely choose what you think, but the result is governed by an immutable law. This stability is your opportunity. By complying with the law, you secure the desired effect with precision. Law makes the universe a cosmos instead of chaos. Hatred is destructive. Do not hate even the bad. By entertaining destructive thoughts, you sow the wind and reap the whirlwind. Substitute constructive thought for destructive. Analyze every thought. If its manifestation will be a benefit, treasure it. It is in tune with the infinite. Keep the door shut to any element with no helpful end in view. The imagination is a plastic power molding the things of sense into new forms. It is the light by which we penetrate new worlds. It is the instrument by which every discoverer opened the way. Precedent said it cannot be done. Experience said it is done. A builder cannot build without plans from the architect's imagination. Objects are as clay in the potter's hand. Do not confuse imagination with fancy or daydreaming. Daydreaming is mental dissipation. It leads to disaster. Constructive imagination is mental labor. It yields the greatest returns. All great things come to those with the capacity to imagine. You cannot entertain negative thoughts 10 hours a day and expect results from 10 minutes of positive thought. It is your predominant mental attitude that counts. Real power is within man, waiting to be brought to visibility by recognition. People seek abundant life through exercise and diet. The results are indifferent. When man awakens to the truth and affirms his oneness with all life, he discovers the source of all power. He takes on the clear eye and the vigor of youth. All mistakes are but the mistakes of ignorance. Spiritual power lies at the heart of all things. It is the soul of the universe. This knowledge is the result of your ability to think. Thought is the germ of conscious evolution. When man ceases to advance in his thoughts, his forces disintegrate. Successful men hold ideals of the conditions they wish to realize. They hold the next step in mind. Thoughts are the materials they build with. The imagination is their workshop. If you are faithful to your ideal, you will hear the call when circumstances are ready. The ideal attracts the conditions for its fulfillment. You can weave a garment of spirit into your existence. You can lead a charmed life, protected from all harm. You become a positive force attracting opulence. This is the leaven permeating the general consciousness. To think correctly, you must know the truth. Truth is the underlying principle in every relation. It is the only solid ground in a world of danger. To know the truth is to be in harmony with the infinite. Truth is mighty and will prevail. Every action not in harmony with truth results in discord and loss. If you require health, realize that the I in you is spiritual. Spirit is one. Wherever a part is, the whole must be. This brings health, because every cell must manifest the truth. If you see perfection, they must manifest perfection. Affirm, I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. This is an exact scientific statement. Spirit is creative. Holding this thought brings conditions in harmony with it. The only way to get love is to give it. The more you give, the more you get. Fill yourself with it until you become a magnet. One is always quickened by the approach to great ideas. Lincoln begot a feeling like approaching a mountain. Man is the sum total of his own thoughts. How do we reject evil thoughts? You cannot keep them from coming, but you can keep from entertaining them. Forget them. Get something for them. Use a ready-made affirmation. Fight darkness with light. Fight cold with heat. Affirm the good, and the bad will vanish. These spiritual methods are always available. Spirit is omnipresent and ready. Recognition of its omnipotence is all that is required. Nothing happens without a definite cause. The ordinary man is governed by his emotions. He thinks to justify his actions. If he fails, he says luck is against him. He seeks excuses. He thinks only in self-defense. But the man who understands cause and effect thinks impersonally. He gets down to bedrock facts. He follows the trail of truth. The world gives him all it has to give: friendship, honor, and love. Nature is lavish and wasteful. Profusion is everywhere. The millions of trees and flowers indicate the lavishness of nature. There is abundance for everyone. Many fail to participate because they do not realize that mind is the active principle. All wealth is the offspring of power. Possessions are of value only as they confer power. The law of causation depends on polarity. A circuit must be formed. This circuit requires harmony with the law. All nature testifies to the law of growth. Where there is growth, there is life. Where there is life, there is harmony. If your thought is in harmony, it is in tune with the infinite mind. It will not return to you void. But if there is no polarity, the circuit is not formed. When a dynamo has no outlet, it stops. If you entertain thoughts not in accordance with the infinite, you are isolated. These thoughts harass you and bring disease. The remedy is to develop power through exercise. Knowledge will not apply itself. You must make the application. Abundance will not drop into your lap. A conscious realization of the law brings materialization. You are a spirit with a body. Your desires are incapable of permanent satisfaction in anything not spiritual. Money is of no value except to bring harmonious conditions. The soul of money is service. As this thought takes form, channels of supply open. The truth shall make you free. Nothing can stand in the way of your perfect success. You are externalizing your inherent soul potencies. The silence offers an unlimited opportunity for awakening truth. Omnipotence is absolute silence. All else is activity and limitation. Silent thought concentration is the true method of reaching the world within. You have the master key. You are the divine thinker. Go forward with the full assurance that the law is with you. The doer will appear. You are free.